Guys, I'm actually so nervous right now. I am a certified teacher. I've been crocheting for 13 years now, but I've never actually filmed a video tutorial. So today I'm gonna be making the top that I'm wearing actually, and my mom loves it. So this one is gonna be for her. I'm using this merino wool. It's from Knitting for Olive, and both of the versions I've already made use that yarn too. So this is the very first one I made. This is a halter style top. I want to make it super easy and super doable. So I'd say that this pattern can be done if you're a beginner crocheter. I'm not going to say this is a level 0. I'd say maybe level 1. Okay, so you might want to check out a basic tutorial and then come back. But I don't know, I'll try to do my best to explain. It's very easy to just make it a tank top if you don't want it to tie around your neck. I'll show you how mine looks. These two that I've already made, they're cropped and they used less than 1 ball. That's partially because of my size. I usually wear a size small. Right now I'm gonna be using 2 balls because I just really wanna make sure that it's not too cropped for my mom, because it does stretch up. I didn't do a lot of shaping because I don't have a big difference between my bust and my waist. It's also very stretchy material. So if you have a bigger difference between your bust and your waist and you really want something that's very fitted, I have other styles I've made, and maybe I can do a tutorial where there is a little more shaping in the bust and it's actually made as a separate piece. It's super comfortable. I love this top. But if you need more shaping, I just go with a different style. So for this pattern, you are going to need merino wool, of course. This is extra fine merino wool. I would recommend Knitting for Olive because that's what works for me. You need a hook, of course. I like 3.5 millimeters because of the yarn I'm using, but you can change the fiber, you can change the weight, you can change the hook. This is a made to measure pattern. I'd recommend merino wool though, just because of the stretch that it has, or maybe acrylic hook, 3.5 or whatever hook you're using. Then you will need a tape measure, especially if you are not able to try it on all the time, or if you're making it for somebody else. Yarn scissors, of course these are essential. A needle so that you can weave in the ends later. I do and they can be pink. They can all be pink if you want them to be. For this first section, we are going around your lower bust. So like right where the band, where your bra band would be. This is why we're gonna use the measuring tape, okay? So I'll show you. And then we're gonna see what the measurement is. All right, so note that measurement. So my foundation double crochet is right down here. All right, it should be able to stretch over your head, over your shoulders. So you're gonna crochet until you've reached that point, okay? It's a pullover top. So I'm going to double crochet until then. I'm not concerned about the number right now. I'm gonna start with a slip knot. We've got a loop, and then this one that's over top, I'm gonna tuck under as if I'm making a knot, but I'm gonna keep the tail, okay? So it's just a little knot, like one side of a bow, and then that is where the hook is gonna go. Here we are here. I like to do the knife grip, and then I make a 3 with my fingers. Okay, now I'm gonna do a chain. So I know this is backwards, but I'm going to yarn over, so back that hook in, and then I like to hold the knot so that it doesn't tighten on me. Okay, there's a chain. And guess what? We're only doing 3 chains. Okay, so you should have 3 chains. Then yarn over into that very first chain, all right, just like that. Take the loop out. Okay, I have 3 loops on the hook here. 3 loops. And then I'm going to yarn over and make a chain with that 1 loop. All right, so look, we've got a new chain kind of sprouting over there, and we have 3 loops left on the hook. So I'm going to yarn over, go through 2 of them, and then I'm going to yarn over again and go through these last 2 loops. All right, that's your double crochet, and at the bottom, that's our foundation chain. So I'm gonna do that again. So yarn over through these 2 loops. Come on, 2 loops. Okay, I'll pull that through. I have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and through 1 loop, and then yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Okay, now keep going with your foundation double crochet. Oh my gosh, don't worry if you're slow like me, that's okay. This pattern can be done in one sitting if you're a little crazy, if you have a hair appointment like I did when I made my very first one, maybe if you're on a flight, if you are a machine. So if you want to go super fast and get this done in one sitting, go for it. I will not be though, so there might be a few angle and lighting changes. This is my problem with making tutorials, is I never crochet in one place. I designed this for my recent trip to Hong Kong, which I know I mentioned. So if you haven't watched it, I think you should. You can also watch my, I crocheted my vacation wardrobe video, because that's where I actually like designed it and created it. It was based off of a different top that I freehanded, a little bit less stretchy. I made it with a silk blend, but it's just the lightest kind of throw over. It's amazing if you just want a layering piece. Thank you to that one person who commented that they're still waiting for this tutorial. The first time I made this top, the pink version, I made it in under 7 hours, like 6 hours in one sitting. I don't know if that's considered fast or not, but I mean, I made a top in one sitting, so that wasn't bad. It was also while I was getting my hair done, so I like this design. Hopefully you like it too. We're gonna flip it around so that it is not twisted or anything. And then you are going to yarn over as if you're gonna do a half double crochet, and you're gonna do it back in that first double crochet, okay? So if you've got your double crochet here, the top kind of looks like a braid there, the V's. You are going to find that first stitch after the chain and then go into that V there. So go under both loops, yarn over and then into the first. You've got the yarn in front of the hook there, so you're just going to grab that loop, pull it through. You have 3 loops as if you're going to do a double crochet, but instead you're going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops. So then I'm going to continue working into those V's into each double crochet, and you're going to keep going until it covers your bust, okay? This is the progress I have made. So we've got it. It is very stretchy. I think I have 110 foundation double crochets. The number doesn't matter though. It really doesn't. So I made sure that it can go around all the areas. This is going to be stretchy enough. But yeah, just make sure that you can pull it over. You might need more, even if you're like around the same size as me, just depending on the tension that you're crocheting with. Like I mentioned before, I didn't do any sort of join. I just went from that foundation double crochet right into the next row. I'm now working in a spiral, okay? So as you can see, we've got our half double crochet, and I'm just gonna keep working my way around. No turns necessary, no joins necessary. If you mess up, that's okay. Who's gonna notice? Nobody's gonna know. I'm a teacher, so like I won't judge. Here we are at the end of, can you see this? At the end of the row. Make sure they don't get twisted, okay? That's gonna be, it's just gonna be annoying. Don't twist it. Make sure that it is flat, tubular. done the front section. Now we're gonna do the straps here. If you're like me and you're playing yarn chicken, then you're gonna wanna do the straps first, then you can determine how much length you can do later on. So what I did is I counted 4 from the side seam so that it wasn't in the center of my armpit. And then I'm gonna start this little decrease section. The length from the center of my armpit to where it gets to my shoulder is about that 4 stitches. It is going to stretch, okay? So 4 stitches isn't a lot, but it will stretch. So count 4 stitches from each side and put your stitch marker in. We wanna have a little space in the middle for that scoop, and put a stitch marker in. It can be anything. It can be a paper clip, it can be a string, it can be a bobby pin, whatever you have. So the length of this strap decrease part, I've counted out 11 stitches here. This is the right side. So I'm going to attach the yarn here. We're actually going to skip a stitch on this first part, and then we're going to decrease on every side so that it tapers up. Okay, so I've just got a loop here. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm actually skipping a stitch immediately. Then I'm going to half double crochet in the next one. So we've got that chain, we skip the stitch, and then half double crochet across. You might notice I'm actually holding the string. I'm kind of crocheting over it so that it helps the weaving in portion after just take less time. I have 8 half double crochets here, so where it's attached, I skip the stitch, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to decrease at the end here, okay? So start your half double crochet, yarn over, grab that loop, just as if you're going to do a half double crochet. Now go into the next stitch without doing an extra yarn over, and just grab an additional loop. So now we have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, go through all 4, okay? We're gonna chain 1, we're gonna turn, and then we are going to decrease right away, okay? In the first 2 stitches and in the last 2 stitches, just like this. So that same half double crochet decrease, we've got 4 loops on the hook and through all of them. Now half double crochet across until we reach the last 2 stitches. Okay, let's see. Okay, so one more. We've half double crocheted across, so we've got decrease 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular half double crochets plus the decrease, and then you're going to decrease into those last 2 stitches. All right, here we go. 4 loops on the hook, and that is the end of the row. We are going to continue with that pattern. All right, so decrease, half double crochet across until you reach your last 2 stitches. Of course, that number in between is going to keep getting smaller because we are tapering up to our strap. Alright, so I've got my decrease and 3 regular half double crochets now. And decrease, then turn. Okay. Decrease, half double crochet and decrease. Okay, keep going. Oh. Okay, this is how it should be looking right now. Chain and turn. We're going to be skipping this stitch, and we're just going to do a regular half double crochet. And now we are going to start the half double crochet, but instead of that last step, we are going to do a foundation half double crochet. So yarn over as if you're doing a chain. through that one loop. Now you still have 3 loops on the hook. Now complete your half double crochet. Yarn over, go into that chain just like we did at the beginning, so under the 2 loops, do that extra little chain step, so yarn over and through 1 loop, and then complete your half double crochet. We are going to do this for the strap. The length doesn't matter so much, it just needs to be able to tie around the back of your neck. Okay, so I'll be back. Just started the second strap, so I'm going to continue on with this foundation half double crochet, and I am going with 70. In one of my last tops I did 65, but I decided I am not playing yarn chicken today. I have plenty of yarn, so I'm gonna splurge a little bit. If you're a couple off, that's fine. Who's gonna know? Nobody's gonna know. How would they know? Okay, this is how the front of the top is looking. I know I have it off center, but you get the idea. Very nice, and it's looking very square, but we are going to clean it up with a nice edge later. Okay, so here we have the bottom of the project. This is the cut tail. I'm going to go into that V of the last foundation half double crochet of the row, pull that string through. Alright, so it's going through the front, and then I'm going to pull it through on the other side as well. So do a couple chains there, and now we're going to start double crochets. So there's a little split there. And then I can continue working. My chains undid, so I'm going to redo them. So now I have 1, 2 chains, and now in the bottom of each foundation double crochet, I'm going to do a new double crochet. So now I'm going to double crochet all the way around in each space. I will be turning, so just be aware of that. One thing you should know about this section is that I've done it 2 different ways already. So the white top that I'm currently wearing, I did double crochet all the way down until the edge, but the pink top that I made has a row of triple crochet. Part of that is because I wanted to be efficient with my material. It added a little interest, but it also gave some extra length without using as much material as double crochet does. So I'm at the end of the row now. Once you do your last double crochet into your foundation double crochet, you can do a slip stitch into that chain space from the beginning. Alright, so you've got 2 loops on the hook, and then pull through, chain 2, and then flip your work. Now we are going to be working in the back of the row we just worked. So yarn over, draw a loop out, we've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over through 2 loops, and then yarn over through the last 2 loops. So we're going to do our double crochet in every stitch across In my first sample that I made, I did 9 rows of double crochet before my triple crochet row, and in this sample I'm wearing, I did 10 rows, so that is just up to your personal preference. You reach the end of your triple crochet row, do a slip stitch into the first triple crochet of the row, chain 1. This is going to be our final row, so we are going to do 2 regular half double crochets and then a little picot stitch. So 2 half double crochets, and then on our third half double crochet, do your half double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch back into this stitch you've just done. Slip stitch. Now this adds the picot without adding an additional stitch. So 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And slip stitch back into this half double crochet we've just done. Alright, there you go. Now repeat that all the way around. So we are doing 3 half double crochets. That is number 2 and 3. Then chain 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch back into this half double crochet we have just done. Okay, now we are at the end. 1 and 2, and that is technically our last space here. I'm going to improvise and do our third half double crochet into the slip stitch because I forgot to do a multiple of 3. So if you are in the same boat, I'd do that. I've also done it, I think, on the one that I'm wearing where there just wasn't an even number around the back. Actually, sorry, it's the side. But who's gonna know? I think that's the theme of this pattern here. It's very forgiving. Honestly, who will know? It's the seam. It's meant to be uneven. It's fine. 1, 2, 3. Do that final slip stitch here, and then slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the round. Alright, slip stitch, and that is the end of our bottom portion. Alright, scissors, and I'm going to leave a nice length to sew in later. Okay, now we are on the very last step. Oh, look at this. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So excited. Here we go. So this here is that foundation chain, and grab my yarn. We're gonna start with a chain, and in this bigger hole there, I'm going to do a single crochet. So 1 single crochet, 2, and I'm going to do a third one in this decrease. Now I'm going to do a half double crochet, 1 final half double crochet, so that makes 2. Oh, can you see this? Oh, sorry. I've attached there. I've done 1, 2, 3 single crochets, 2 half double crochets, and now we are getting into the double crochets. So I'm going to skip that final, well, that's a decrease. I'm going to skip that decrease. And now we are going into top row here. All right, so I've got a double crochet, and I'm going to double crochet across the length of that neckline. This is what it's looking like right now, though, by the way. Look at that, such a nice taper. There we are with the double crochets. I'm going to skip this first portion. That's actually my chain space. And then I'm going to do a half double crochet into this little hole here. I've done my 3 single crochets. I'm going to slip stitch into this. It's actually a half double crochet there, and then I'm going to turn. Now I'm going to single crochet all the way across. Ooh, single crochet all the way across. And I'm facing the back side of this front portion, so I'm going to do 2 rows of single crochet so that I'm ending with the right side facing me. Okay, there is a second slip stitch. Okay, second slip stitch, turn. I'm going to skip that first slip stitch and now single crochet. Let me know if you get creative with it. Please tag me. Please tag me on Instagram. Comment on this video if you make it. All right, we are at the end of the row. Amazing. And I'm going to do that extra slip stitch on this side as well. Cut it. There we go. That's so exciting. There we are in that last unworked half double crochet. So grab a loop, make a chain, and then we are going to single crochet into each stitch all the way up. So I'm going into this chain space. Honestly, wherever you would like to work into, just try and make it even. Rule of thumb is about 1 single crochet per row that you've worked. Am I counting though? Not really. I'll count after and just match it on the other side. A slip stitch to finish it off. Look at how nice that looks now. Perfect. I've attached it here, and then I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 single crochets and my final slip stitch. Let's do the other side. If you'd like to be lazy like me, you'll see that we have our loose end here, and you might want to do an invisible joint and just pull up a loop on the other side. Then you're going to have a string that goes across the back of the strap. Loop here. Oh, let's save some yarn. Okay, so satisfying. So leave yourself a little bit of a string, make a chain. I'm going to make sure that it's not like stretched or anything, but it looks fine to me. And I'm going to try and do 10 single crochets down. So we'll try to keep that number. Is anybody really going to count though? Just try and keep it generally the same number. I'm going to go back the other way, make sure that it's nice and secure. And finally, the other way. There we go. Right, and once you've done that, you can give it a little snip. Perfect.